with Time to Shrink. Welcome to another meal prep, y'all. We do these every single week. I like to take a day or a couple days sometimes and prepare things, and then it just makes the rest of the week so much easier. I don't know about y'all, but we are back into the swing of things for fall. The kids have not started school yet. They don't start until September 1st or August 31st, but soccer has started back up and life is starting to get crazy again. So meal prep is going to become even more vital. Before I started this video, I went ahead and washed all my produce, but I've got everything washed and prepped and cut up. So let's just jump into making this stuff, y'all. All right, so today is going to be kind of a lot of dicing and chopping. I am going to make strawberry chia seed jam. I'm going to make cherry simple syrup. I'm going to make a Chinese style chicken salad, I think, or coleslaw. I don't know. That's still up in the air. I'm going to pickle some peppers. So I've got these to pickle. I'm going to pickle some jalapenos. I am going to roast a bunch of garlic. I'm going to try and do that in the air fryer, see how that works. This is a bunch of brie and meats, and I'm going to make some Brie Bites. I'm thinking of doing those in the air fryer as well. Or I may just go ahead and stuff them in the oven because they only take 10 minutes. So I could maybe utilize the oven today for just like 10 minutes. Then I had an idea of wrapping these little mozzarella sticks with some of this and put a toothpick in them and putting them in the air fryer. I don't know if we'll get to that today or not. That may be later in the week, but have it out. And then I may get to some more syrups. I have some chai spices in here for like tea, like chai tea basically, and I was going to make like a chai tea infused simple syrup for some cocktail ideas. And then I also have some spirulina, which is this really, really bright, vibrant color. So I was thinking about adding that to some simple syrup to see how that turns out. So I'm not sure how much we're going to get accomplished today because my back is killing me, but we're going to do what we can. And then I also have some mushrooms that are going bad that I'm probably just going to chop up and throw in the freezer or cook or something. All right, so I came over here. See how I cut all the tops? This is where I have my air fryer. I always put it in foil, so I wrapped it in foil. And then I'm going to take olive oil and just liberally dose that in the top. Now, all we're going to do is put it in our air fryer. Remember, y'all, if your air fryer is near a wall, always, always, always pull it out because it vents from the back. We are going to do it on just the regular air fry setting and go. I think it's going to probably take well over 20 minutes, but we're going to start with 22 and we will see. I don't know. I've never done it in the air fryer. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and make these Brie Bites. I first learned about these watching a Keto Connect video. It was around Christmas time. They were making an appetizer. They put prosciutto inside these little mini muffin cups, like lined it with prosciutto, put a little piece of brie, and I don't know, I think they might have put a cranberry and a pecan or something, and I made them that way for a Christmas party, and they were so good. Now I make them with whatever meats I have on hand, any kind of like salami type meat, capicola, salami, prosciutto, any of those kind of meats that are pretty fatty naturally work perfectly. So we stuff them in this, and then I cut up pieces of brie cheese, put it inside. So I'm just gonna run through that real quick. I have a huge thing of brie I got at the chef's store. So we are going to make quite a few of these. And then I don't always add the nut and the cranberry. When the cranberries are around, like real whole cranberries, I will add one cranberry to each because it's real tasty. But I do often add like a pecan or a walnut, and as it cooks, as it roasts in there, it gets a little toasted, and that is really, really good. But I don't always do that. I don't know if I have any nuts right now, so we may or may not do that. But basically, I just go through the wheel of brie and make just little pieces. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't get any easier than this. It only takes 10 minutes to cook. They hold up really, really well. They're good cold, or you can reheat them in the air fryer or the microwave. Everybody in my family loves these. These are an amazing lunch or snack. And like I said, originally I made them for a party appetizer, and they're really great for that too. So this is probably one of my favorite meal preps because it works in so many different ways, and it is So easy, y'all. So easy. Oh my gosh, that garlic is gonna smell at my house like a lot. The air fryer, because it vents out the back. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do 20 minutes of that garlic smell, y'all. That's pretty strong. We may put them in the oven since I'm putting the Brie Bites in. That's too much for me, y'all. Too much coming out of the back of the air fryer. All right, I'm gonna take these out. When I do them in the oven, I fold them up. So you just fold your foil up like that and put it in like a little foil packet. So we're just gonna throw these in here. They can roast. I just turned that on so it's preheating, but it's fine. And you know what? We may make some of our prosciutto bites in this just to see how it works out. I don't know. You'd have to put them in like little mini silicone. I don't know if I have mini ones. I'll have to see. That garlic smell was too strong for me, y'all. It was a good thought, but yeah, not unless I'm going to do it outside. I guess I could have put it in the backyard on the back porch or something and plugged it in. Whatever kind of salami you have on hand, or you can go for the prosciutto. I like to do prosciutto for parties, but prosciutto is not cheap. It's pretty expensive. So I like to go to Lidl and just get little things of salamis. This size works really, really well. This is, I think, Sopressata. Yeah. And then I use the piece of brie to push it down in there. It will hold its shape if you use the brie to push it down in. So I like to have my brie cut up first. If you want to make these a little more substantial, if your pieces are small, you could double up and do it like, you know, do like this. Put a piece of brie in the middle and then go down like that. But, you know, whatever. This is super simple, y'all. I realized I did have these little mini muffin silicones. So we are going to, I only have 2 of the mini muffin pans. So we are going to go ahead and use some of these mini muffins. I want to use up all of my meat was my plan. So we're going to do that and throw these in the air fryer and see how it works, y'all. I'm also making bacon in the air fryer so that I can make some egg, bacon, and Brie Bites in the air fryer for Jackson for breakfast this week. Okay, so we're just going to shove these in this air fryer basket, y'all. Do it on the air fry for probably 5 minutes, I'm guessing. And I think they'll turn out well this way too. Let's see. So we're going to make some bacon brie cups, egg bacon brie cups, kind of like sous vide style Starbucks. In the air fryer, it really fluffs up and gives it such a nice texture. I really, really like doing these in the air fryer compared to the oven. When I do them in the oven, if I do a pan of hot water underneath them, it will help with that. With the air fryer, you don't need any of that. It just really works. So we're going to make about 12 of these probably. And what I do is I fill these little silicone liners up with the cheese and the bacon, and then I pour my mixture of egg over the top. I usually do eggs, some heavy cream, and whatever seasoning he feels like that week. Because these are mainly Jackson. I'll eat them, but mainly it's Jackson. All right, I'm just adding some whole milk. You could use heavy cream, and then I am adding my Fresh Jack's spicy all-purpose seasoning, just liberally, because that is what Jackson chose. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I'm going to use my handy dandy little whisk and whisk these babies up. These were in here for 5 minutes. They are completely done, so we're just going to let these cool. They look really good. Let's check the ones in the oven, y'all. Those look just about done too. These took about 10 minutes. The air fryer took about 5 minutes. So the air fryer is a great method. You just can't do quite as many at one time. All right, I just got this bacon out of the air fryer. I'm gonna crumble it up. We're gonna throw these egg cups in the air fryer. We have 2 air fryers, so we will throw them in both of them and see how many this makes. It's quite a bit of brie and bacon, so I'm not sure how far the egg's gonna spread, but we shall find out. Trying to chop the bacon up pretty finely because I want him to be able to eat it with his hands easily. These egg bites absolutely freeze super well, y'all, so you could always make a ton of them and freeze them as a breakfast prep, but I'm just making them for the week. So I've got all of these little silicone cups. I put some brie in them. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some bacon in each one. And then the trick is put them in the air fryer before you pour the eggs in. Otherwise, it's a disaster because they're really flimsy. So we're putting these into the air fryer basket, and I kind of just let them spread out a little. We're going to just do this many in this one, and we'll do the rest in the next air fryer. So now what I do, I take my egg mixture. I like to put it in something that has a pour spout, and then I pour it right into the silicone baking cup. Pretty much full.
Rolling in 3, 2.
We're going to make a Asian style chicken salad. I haven't done that in quite a while. So what we're going to do is first we're going to make our dressing. Okay, so I'm going to do equal parts of soy sauce or coconut aminos, whichever you prefer, and rice wine vinegar. So 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. Now we're going to go with rice wine vinegar. Same thing. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. This will give it so much flavor. The sesame oil is such an important ingredient. And then we're going to do 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. You could use avocado oil here. And then we are going to add a little bit of spicy all-purpose. Probably about a teaspoon. A little bit of togarashi, because I have been obsessed with togarashi lately. And we're just going to stir this up. Give it a little taste. Probably going to add a little bit of sweetener. Let's see. I am just going to go into my monk fruit sweetener and add about 2 tablespoons probably. And then we're going to stir that in as well. I always like to make my dressing first, set it to the side, and then I prepare my salad, and then I add a little bit of dressing at a time, and so that I don't oversaturate. Now what I'm going to do, you could use a rotisserie chicken, you can make your own chicken. I have chicken that I got from the smokehouse, so it's a little smoky. It's really good. I'm going to chop this up, and I'm going to use the rest of the bacon that I have left. This is going to be so good, y'all. I'm so excited for this one. All right, y'all. This was 12 minutes. I'm thinking I probably should have done 10, but they really puffed up. They're already going back down, but these are going to be so tasty. See, this has been, oh no, this might need a few more minutes. Yeah. We're going to make like a Chinese chicken salad here, like I said. So I've got my chicken and a little bit of bacon just because I had it, some green onion, a bunch of slivered almonds, and some cabbage. You also could use some just regular green leaf lettuce if you wanted to, but I like to do it this way because it lasts for a long time. So at this point, let me taste. Okay, we are going to drizzle our dressing right over the top. I think I'm going to need all of it. And then we're just going to go in and get this all tossed together and see what we need to do from there. All right, y'all, we're going to make some cherry syrup now. This is in my Time to Drink Low Carb Cocktail book. This book just came out last week, y'all. It will be linked down below if you're interested in it. It's a cocktail book, all low-carb cocktails, tons of syrup recipes, rapid infusions, all kinds of really, really great stuff. I think you will love it. But my cherry syrup is in here. So I'm just going to go to the cherry syrup. Oh, that's not cherry syrup. That's a blackberry dark and stormy, y'all. So I've got lots of different syrups in here. And all of these different syrups make such good drinks, y'all. Okay, let's just jump into making the cherry syrup. This will be a freebie for you from the recipe book. So let me go ahead and share this page. This is what it looks like on my iPad, cherry syrup. This is a really thick syrup. Think kind of like a maraschino cherry type syrup. I make this using cherries, water, allulose, and some stir black cherry water enhancer. And this turns out so good. My son loves to add this to his Cokes to make like a cherry Coke. So we went in with a cup of pitted cherries. Here is a cup of water. Now, I use allulose to this, and allulose is 1 1/3 cups to 1 cup water. So there's a 1/3 cup, and then we're going to go in with 1/2 cup, another 1/2 cup. So there's 1 1/3 cups of that, and we're going to put this over low medium, bring this up to a simmer, and get this melted. The allulose melts into this really, really well. Other types of, you could use a different sugar substitute, but what happens if you use most different sugar substitutes is that it looks like it's going to meld together fine, but then the sugar precipitates back out, kind of like in crystal formations, and then you don't have a syrup. So if you use others, you just need to be really careful. I experimented with tons of stuff, and this is what we landed on. So this has come up to a little bit of a boil. So we are going to just kind of mash up the cherries a little bit now that they've softened. I'm just using this little mashulator thing, or whatever you call this, spatulator, and kind of getting the cherries mashed up a little bit. I usually only leave the cherries in for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then I'm going to strain it out and then keep reducing my sauce because I want to make a thick cherry syrup. All right, y'all, I know this looks dark because it's cherry syrup, but what I did was strained it, took all the cherries out. I don't want to get too much of the cherry in here because I just want a little bit of the flavor, but I don't want the carbs. So I just barely do it for about 3 minutes until they start to break down, and then I get rid of the fruit at that point. And now we are going to bring this up to a simmer and let this reduce by about half. And then the trick to making it extra cherry flavored without extracting all of that cherry and getting too many carbs is I use this Stir Naturally Skinny Black Cherry. I use a couple squirts of this, and I will put that in after it's cooled off. So that's it, y'all. We're just letting this reduce by half. Okay, y'all. Next thing we're going to make is some strawberry chia seed jam. So for this, I am not going to use allulose. I am going to use some powdered sweetener. We're going to cook down some strawberries with some powdered Lakanto sweetener. So there's the Lakanto. I've got this kind of over a medium low, and I'm using just this Lakanto. Can you see it? There we go. Lakanto powdered monk fruit sweetener. I'm going to use my same little mash guy here, and we just are going to get these to kind of start to cook down, and then I will end up adding some chia seeds. I never know how much sweetener I'm going to add until the end because you just aren't ever sure. I used 1/2 cup, but it depends on how sweet your strawberries are. So, you know, we just want to do this over a pretty low heat, and we're just going to get these really, really softened. And then if you like your jelly to be really, really smooth, you can use a immersion blender. When we get to the very end, I usually use an immersion blender just a little bit. So we're just going to keep mashing these up and just let them kind of cook down low and slow. And then we'll put them in a mason jar. And for every cup of this that I have, I add a tablespoon of chia seeds. It's that simple. And I also usually add a little bit of either lemon juice or lime to this. It kind of just wakes it up and freshens it. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of like habanero or a little bit of jalapeno just to give it a little kick. You can do anything you want with it. You can make this with any kind of fruit that you want, any kind of berries, and it still stays relatively low carb, as long as you're using berries and you just use a little bit at a time. But this is something that my family all really, really loves, not just me. I have some fresh squeezed lime juice. So we're just putting in some lime juice, about 1 ounce. The lime just helps keep it really, really nice and fresh. If you want, you could even add a little bit of zest from the lime. So there we go. This is already breaking down really, really well. Okay, y'all, my strawberries are cooked down. So what we're going to do now is make our jam. I love this funnel. This is the best funnel because it's so big and it's collapsible. So I put that over my jar, and then we're going to pour our strawberry in. Ooh, hope that I don't get it on me. Oh, this may be too much. Yeah, why did I keep pouring it, y'all? That was stupid. We're gonna have to take a little bit of this out because we need to get our chia seeds in. And I can't really immersion blend. Okay, y'all. We're gonna try that again. We're gonna take, oh, that's hot. We're gonna do that. I just made more strawberries than I realized. I like to put them in these ball jars because it tells you how much is in here. So I'm gonna go up to the 2 cup mark. There we go, 2 cups. And then that way I know how much chia seeds to put in here. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. There we go. And then you just wanna let this sit overnight and the chia, get it stirred really well. Let it sit overnight and then the chia seeds will thicken it up. Check it tomorrow, and if it's not quite as thick as you want it, you can add some more chia seeds. Usually I use the immersion blender and blend this up a little bit, but I'm thinking about just leaving it chunky this time because mainly I put it in yogurt. What do you think, Jack? Leave it or?
I mean, all we do with it is put it in yogurt.
Yeah. Okay, so there's that one. And then we have one more.
Maybe we should immersion this one.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna immersion blend this one. It doesn't fit. Oh, this is not a wide mouth one. It will fit over here. The chia seeds are gonna be fine. Okay, put it all the way down. And then you can just blend the amount that you want. I'm not gonna do it super smooth. We're just gonna go just like that. We're gonna call that a day. And there you have Chia Seed Jam. It's that simple, y'all. Except for that I made a big mess and made it as hard as possible. But it really is simple. And I really know what I'm doing usually with this. Here is our cherry syrup. It's nice and thick and viscous. We're gonna take our black cherry flavor and we're gonna do 2 big squirts. That's 2 carbs right there of the squirt. And then, I don't know if you can tell, but it's nice and viscous and thick. So we're gonna pour that into a container. This is our cherry syrup container. It used to have maraschino cherries. That way we know what it is. Pour it in here. I'm gonna let it cool. And then I will add 2 teaspoons of vodka that just keeps it fresh. It makes it last longer. And then we'll just stick it in the fridge. Cherry syrup. Okay, I have 4 cups of water here. We're gonna make our pickling liquid to make our pickled peppers and our pickled, well, 2 different kinds of pickled peppers. We're gonna make goodness gracious, that's hard to say. We are going to make sweet pickled peppers and we're going to make pickled jalapenos. So I have 4 cups of water and I am going to add in 4 cups of vinegar. This is going to fill this up. I might could have done half this amount, y'all. I don't know. We'll see. I may be making more pickling liquid than we really need. Oh, is that all that's left in here?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go in with half of a cup. Actually, I think we're going to do a full cup because this is a lot of pickling liquid. This is Lakanto monk fruit sweetener that I'm putting in here, and we're going to heat this up and get this to melt down. We're just going to slowly bring this up and get this sugar in here to dissolve. And then this is our pickling liquid. You could add all kinds of herbs and spices if you want. I tend to just pretty much stick to the plain and it tastes so good. We add this to salads and sandwiches and all kinds of dishes. But you don't need to bring this up to a boil. We just need to get it to a good warm simmer. That's really it, y'all. We're gonna fill our jars and then we'll pour this over the veggies in the jar. All right, y'all, we are gonna get these peppers ready. All you do is take your jar and you fill it as full as you can. Like mash them down in there, like as many as you possibly can fit in your jar. And also my roasted garlic came out. So there's the roasted garlic. For some reason, it leaked through my tin foil, which never happens, and made a mess in the bottom of my oven, y'all. I have oil all over the bottom of my oven, which is not super safe. So I guess I'll be cleaning my oven this week. I've never had that happen. But I guess from now on, I will put them on a pan of some sort. So see how these are getting full? I'm just going to keep pushing and get as many in as I possibly can. And then whatever I have left, I can just freeze or we can save for eating or whatever. I think we're not going to get them all in. Okay, so there's our jalapeno jar. And then we're going to do the same thing with the sweet peppers. These sweet peppers pickled are probably one of my favorite things. They're so good. You can also add into your pickling jar just like a couple cloves of garlic or something if you want to just kind of spice it up a little bit. But you don't have to do that. I'm just showing you the basic pickling. You can buy pickling spices and use those. You could make like cucumbers and make pickles. If I make actual pickles, I usually do use like the pickling spices. But I think I have way more sweet peppers than we need. And I may just go ahead and make a second jar. But I just keep stuffing, basically, y'all. Just keep pushing it down. You get a lot more in than you think you will. I really might be able to get all of these in here. Look at that. Yep. Who knew? So now we are going to just clean this up a little bit, and we'll come back in just a second and pour the hot pickling liquid right over the top. Y'all, I don't know. I went a little crazy. I made enough pickling liquid probably for 4 or 5 jars. I don't know what I was thinking. But basically, you just want to pour your pickling liquid while it's hot. It's not boiling. I never brought it to a boil. I just brought it to really warm. And then you're going to pour your pickling liquid over there until everything is completely covered. So there's that one. Same thing over here. Just slowly pour it in there until it gets into all those little crevices and crannies. There we go. I probably have a little much in that, but I was determined to get it all in. So now we're just going to put the tops on, and I let it sit at room temperature until it's not hot to the touch anymore. Then we put them into the fridge and we eat on them. I usually like to let them sit for a few days before we eat on them. They get better the longer they're in there, but the boys will not let them sit that long probably. Okay, so let me get everything that we made today and we'll just go over it real quick, y'all. Okay, y'all, thanks for hanging out with me today. This is what we got meal prepped. We have a ton of these Brie Bites that I'm super excited about. We've been nibbling on them already. These are so good, y'all. They're great cold. They reheat well. Chinese chicken salad, our egg cups. I've got some veggies that I just needed to cut up, so I'll cut those up, and those will go into meals later this week. We've got 2 things of strawberry. I don't think that's the right size top, Erica. 2 things of strawberry chia seed jam. We've got our thick cherry syrup, and we've got our pickled peppers. And then I've got my garlic. I have the garlic. When it starts popping up like that, up out of the garlic head, then you know it's ready. Then you're gonna let it sit until it's cool enough for you to touch, and you just squeeze it out, and then I just store it in airtight containers. So that's what we made this week. I hope y'all enjoyed hanging out with me, and I will see you again soon. Bye, y'all. Be blessed.